How you doing? How you doing, man? We're back with another episode of Put You On. I got another special guest with me. She's a screenwriter, creative curator, and just an entrepreneur, man. I got that girl, Big Mo.
What's up, y'all?
Thank
you for having me.
No problem, man. I appreciate you coming, man, for sure. I'll take some of my juice real quick. So, man, let's go ahead and we got to get into it, man. Last time we talked about these celebrities, man.
Yeah, you I think your feelings about that.
Nah, because who we talking about?
Who was it? I don't even remember.
Damn, who was talking about? Somebody.
I don't even remember who you was talking about. I just chimed in.
I was talking about. No, because what I was saying, I forgot who was talking about. I think it was Cardi B or somebody had complained about some type of privacy or something like that. It was some other conversation, and what I was saying was I understood everything you were saying about celebrities needing privacy, and they are human, and everything you were saying was correct. Now, so I wasn't saying that you was wrong, but what I'm saying is that it's not reality. You see what I'm saying?
Well,
there's a fairy tale and that's reality. That's just like saying you shouldn't kill nobody, you shouldn't steal from nobody, you shouldn't cheat, you shouldn't do all that. Of course, you shouldn't do that, but it's not reality. People are going to still do that regardless. You see what I'm saying? That's just the way the world is. And yes, it should be different, but that's not reality. And sometimes we got to deal with shit for what it is, not for what we want it to be. That's all I was saying on that. Yes, they do deserve privacy. Like I said, they deserve privacy, and yes, they shouldn't be. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely, everything you saying was correct. I agree with that. But I'm like, okay, you jump in this world. There's pros and cons in everything you do. You know what I'm saying? Right, a job. You know what I'm saying? Working 9 to 5. You know, you got a set schedule. Something you got to get up early. There's always going to be pros and cons to everything you do in life. Then with a girl, she may not cook. You may like a girl to cook. It's gonna, you know what I'm saying? She might not cook. You know what I'm saying? Girl, do this. She might not do that. You got to pick your poison, what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? But this is what you signed up for. You kind of signed up for this because when you see other people going through this, then it's like, okay, do I really want to be in this type of field, or do I not want to be in this type of field? Type shit.
So here's my take on it.
Okay.
When we talk about entertainment, everything consumer based is based from a human perspective.
Absolutely.
So even things like, we know not to kill, we know not to steal, we know not to do that. Those are more so options we have. But you ain't got no option but to be human. So with that comes, the only difference between myself and a celebrity is the number of consumers. So I have to look at it, especially because I'm like an entertainment nepotism baby. You know, my entire family's in the industry. So my aunt was Betty Wright, and I was used to people running up to her, interrupting her day. And granted, it's like, but you're Betty Wright, but your music is on the radio. And it's like, so what? Like, I'm with my kids. And it's like, when humans lose a certain level of understanding and it becomes entitlement, and it's like, I listen to your music, I like you, therefore you have to let me into your space. It comes back down to that human level of, wait a minute, because granted, I'm a celebrity, but at the same time, I have my life. And when a celebrity, I've noticed this, when their humanity is violated, when they're not able to exist in private, when they're not able to do shit on their own, it takes away from the artistry that people are consuming. And I think Nina Simone is a great example of that. My mother was Nina Simone's personal assistant for umpteen years, and just the pressures of people feeling entitled to not just her art but to her took a toll on how her music and how her art was conveyed to the public. So granted, yes, we know in a world where there's access to everything, those are the things that come with it. You're gonna get some bad opinions,
right?
But that versus privacy versus someone's right to be able to take their kid to school, someone's right to be able to let me go to the store and get some damn milk, those things are absolutely in a reality, especially because if they weren't things we wanted celebrities to be able to access, they wouldn't have security. They wouldn't have certain things that ensure, yes, you got a million eyes on you, but we're going to put certain things in place so that you are still able to enjoy the amenities of a normal life.
Right.
So it's like, I can't look at it as a fairy tale simply because it's like, for example, you have your own podcast.
Absolutely.
If somebody who watches you every day, who makes sure they tune in, who makes sure they support you, now feels I have an entitlement to his life, and it's just that one person. That in itself would be, that's a stalker in an essence. Now imagine you got 30 million of them, and you didn't sign up to have a bunch of people on you. You signed up to be able to put out great content and to be able to do your podcast. So it's just, I just feel like there's a level of empathy that consumers don't have when it comes to celebrities. And granted, we've normalized it, so it is our new reality.
That's what I'm saying.
But in the human and in the real world, it's like we live in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. If one of these celebrities decided, like, I'm tired of y'all running up on me and shot somebody, like that ass, in my mind, you really couldn't be mad, because if a motherfucker who just only knew me from Instagram ran up on me, you feel me?
Don't know me for a can of paint.
Right, and so it's like the entitlement we have to celebrities, I feel like, is what, one, stifles a lot of our own growth, because we use that as a benchmark. Right. But also, I feel like it takes away from us as people being able to connect when every connection feels forced or entitled. That's just me, though.
But see, you're providing a different perspective for somebody that was raised up in the industry. You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So you got family, you know what I'm saying, your mom and all that. You're providing respect that somebody's in the industry. So of course, somebody that kind of was raised up in the industry, it's gonna kind of, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna have a different opinion on it. But everything you said though, I agree with. You know, I truly agree with. You don't deserve, you know what I'm saying, entitlements to be in my personal life. No, that's not it.
But it does come with it.
It comes with it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it comes with it. So like you said, if 30 million fans, I know, it's like you said, I'm talking about this now, so I know once this podcast really take off, I know what I'm getting myself into. So now I'm asking myself, how do I prepare for it?
But are you willing to sacrifice it just because you know it's coming? Like, if I know a train is coming my way, right, because of whatever, I ain't gonna stand there and watch it. And that's why I say it, I respect 50 Cent so much, because him trolling people the way he does is like his way of being able to set a boundary. Niggas get bold on the internet. And so it's like when they be behind the computers like, oh well, fuck you 50 Cent, I ain't like your last album. Okay, nigga, that's why your mama's in a wheelchair. Like, you know, I feel like setting that boundary to know not to fuck with folk is what allows certain celebrities to have longevity. Certain
celebrities, a lot of them just want to be seen, though. They like to be seen. They like that attention. Because you can move in private and have a private. Look at Jay-Z and Beyonce. They move, I guarantee you they have a private life.
Have you ever seen anybody get that close to them?
No.
Have you ever? Wait, not even that. We talk.
The only thing we heard about them is when they had that elevator fight.
We talk about that, right? And that was the last scandal we got. Yeah. But even that, Beyonce's right to privacy is not an option. Beyonce tells us in so many words, you Negroes aren't gonna catch me in some shit, and y'all not gonna walk up on me with it. And so it's like, I feel like she's a perfect example of a celebrity who's like, I'm not asking for privacy. I have it. You see, and it's like, you know, it's achievable for sure.
That's what I'm saying.
But I do fully like understand your point.
They want to be seen.
Shit's gonna happen. Gonna happen.
And I don't want to be seen. No, this Beyonce ain't trying to be seen. Even until she want to be seen.
Beyonce ain't been out since Chris Rock got slapped. That was too ghetto for her. She was like, no, I'm out this hoe. But no, I just feel like when we're able to look at celebs and stuff as human, it makes it easier to connect with them. Yeah, it makes it a lot easier to connect with them. And it makes it easier to get those intimate and personal moments with someone you're a fan of when you're not overbearing with it.
Because nowadays, people don't enjoy the moment. People got to record everything. You see fucking Drake walking past, pick up a phone. Like, dude, just think about that though. Like, dude, if you was that person and you walk past somebody, you think somebody want to be recorded instantly? I don't think you want to be recorded. I'm on camera. Yeah. Come on, man. Though I say I agree with you saying, it's absolutely, that shit is wrong and it's fucked up. But I'm just looking at it like that's just the reality of it, and I'm just seeing, you know, more celebrities complain. I'm like, okay, now you do know that this is just what goes on. I'm sorry.
But the complaint is valid in the sense of...
It is, though. It is.
And not even valid in the sense of like, yeah, you're right, and yeah, they have a right to privacy. But it's also like, some people really don't No, some fans who they may be the biggest fan in the world. They really may not comprehend, like, oh shit, she may not want to be touched. She may not want to be this. And when we don't comprehend that, we be so confused as to why was she such a bitch when I asked for a picture at 4 a.m. at the airport? And it's like, it's like, so sometimes I feel like I said, the entitlement doesn't allow for us to really sit back and think,
right,
is this going to be comfortable for them?
Right.
Because even on the same side of consumers, it's like, I would die if I tried to go hug Beyonce and she was like, oh, back up. Like, if I made it uncomfortable for her or something. Right. So, I just feel like, you have to be able to, they have to be able to talk to their fans in a way that's not just blowing smoke up everyone's ass. I feel like celebrities should be able to say, like, look, I don't mind if y'all come up and ask for pictures. Don't try and hug me. Don't try and take pictures of my kids and stuff. And I feel like that's very, very realistic. Just as much as it's realistic to expect people to be on your dick 24/7,
yeah.
I think it's also realistic to have a fan base that supports you enough to be able to say, look, y'all gonna have to chill with this. I don't mind if you do A, but y'all can't do B.
Right.
Yeah.
I definitely agree. You said some points there. I definitely agree with everything you said. So, man, tell the audience where you from, man. Let's go back to the beginning, Vic, man. Let's go back to the beginning. Where you from, man?
I'm from the 404, Atlanta. I'm born and raised in Atlanta. I feel like I'm a Georgia connoisseur because I've lived everywhere in Atlanta, but, where I was raised, where I spent the most longevity, I'm ATL for real.
ATL for sure. Okay. You got any siblings?
Oh, do I? I am the baby of 8.
Whoa.
I am the baby of 8.
I see why you said that. Do I?
Oh, boy.
Baby of 8.
Yes, I come from a very diverse and very culturally exposed family. My mom's heritage is indigenous and Nigerian. My father is indigenous and Jamaican. If you go to the Kroger on Cascade and you look at the old debutantes, you'll see my grandmother up there. My grandfather was one of the first immigrants to become a paratrooper. So, I was exposed to a whole lot growing up, and Atlanta being like such a diverse city and such a artistic city. Me and my siblings really had we had a well-exposed childhood. We got to experience and see a lot of things that a lot of people don't have the opportunity to see and experience.
So you come from greatness then, don't you?
Oh, absolutely. I claim it. Black people, claim your greatness. If your grandma got her nursing degree at 16, be proud enough to be like, I come from a line of nurses.
Okay.
I'm big on upping my lineage, because it ain't just me.
Okay. So what high school you went to?
I went to the Fine Arts High School at Mount Zion. Fine Arts. Which is a fancy way of saying Mount Zion High School in Clayco.
How was that like going up there?
High school was a trip, man. High school is probably the only era I do say I wish I could redo.
Why is that though?
Mainly because I was so uncomfortable with myself. Before there was screenwriting and makeup in the business, I was like a very awkward child. I'm weird. I'm from Atlanta. I feel like you can't really be from Atlanta and not have like a weird streak to you. So
you don't seem weird though. I'm not getting no weird vibe from you.
I just got here. But nah, for real. I just, me and my siblings, we all have this, this collective kind of aura about us, and we're very alternative. But we also we're all successful. We're all beautiful. I got one brother and it's a bunch of girls. So I come from vanity. I come from a line of very, very confident women. And so by the time I got to high school, I just didn't have that, even though it was beat into my head from young. It's like, I don't see what y'all see. So entering high school, I battled with not only self-harm, but body dysmorphia. And throughout high school, I was just constantly trying to find, not even a group, but just find a vibe and a wave. On top of that, my home life, I was going through a lot. And so in high school, that was just the one place where I just projected everything. And you know, it worked out in some ways. You know, I was always known as being creative. I was always known as being out of the box and stuff. But you know, there were times I could be a little obnoxious, a little loud, a little unaware. But you know, that just came from really wanting to belong somewhere. Especially because I had moved from the east side to Clayco. So it's like, this is different. Y'all weird. But you know, I also made some of the greatest friends I've ever had throughout high school, just finding people who had that same little quirk about them and being able to connect through that. So high school was a trip, but I would definitely, there's a lot I would redo about high school. I'm sorry.
I feel you on that though. So what about college? Did you go to college?
I don't know if I should say
you went
this
to
story,
college.
but
Go ahead.
I got accepted. I made it out of high school by the skin of my teeth, not because I wasn't smart, but because I was bored. So it was like, let me do all these assignments and bring my GPA up to a quick little 2.9. So I got into a lot of college, and then a lot of colleges.
Talk about a lot of colleges.
Let's put this out for a second. I got to like 3-4 colleges. I got 2 partial band scholarships, and something happened.
Are you playing the band?
Oh yeah, baby. We was a drum line. Percussion assassin.
Nick Kelly with the braids, goddamn.
But I got into a situation where I basically lost all my scholarships, and at that point I was like, fuck this shit. I don't want to go to school. If I can't do it how I planned it, I don't want to do it. But of course, through the support of my family, I ended up going. So I did a year at Atlanta Metro where I learned so much, and not even just so much as far as a scholar. I learned so much about organizations, business, how businesses are run, because at the time there was a lot of corruption at Atlanta Metro, and it just somehow it spilled over into student life to where we were putting on like whole conversations of how to fix certain things at our school. So once I finished up there, I did a year at Fort Valley, and then I took a break, and I've been on my break flourishing for the last like 4 years. But I am back in school now. That was my 2022 like commitment. So I'm in film school, like officially in film school, doing film full time. So I love it. I like my little educational journey.
Okay, let's get into the big beauty lab.
My
It's the makeup, handmade, skincare, men's skincare, and I'm pretty sure a bunch of more. What made you want to start a business doing that?
So during the pandemic, I was a manager at Ulta. So, you know, I'm doing makeup full time. I'm still doing special effects on different film sets. And then this thing called COVID came up. And COVID, me being in makeup where I physically have to touch on people every day, my whole career just came to a halt. And to see, like, to work so hard to get to a certain point in my career, and then it just stops, and it's, you know, it's no one's fault. I can't be mad at anyone. I really had to like use the things that I was, you know, I had to use the gifts I was sitting on and just kind of waiting until I had free time or waiting until I had a moment to do. And I really had to like, we got to make something shake, friend. So I was like, okay, well, what's this PPP thing they're talking about? What's this SBA thing they're talking about? And I got denied for every single one. So thank the Lord, COVID hit during tax time, and you know, I had saved up enough.
Unemployment was looking good too.
That furlough. Jesus. But when tax season hit and when unemployment started, I literally designed my own palette. I found a young lady on LinkedIn who was in Ghana who was the only cosmetic biologist I could find at the time on LinkedIn. And she helped me formulate my formula. We designed the cover. I came up with the concept, and by November, December, I was ordering my first batch of inventory. So this is now, the pandemic is still very much here, but we're slowly kind of coming out of it. So, you know, once I got all my inventory and I was able to physically see my products, I was like, okay, I got to keep going. So
Right.
any money I had left, I invested into my website, supplies to make my skincare. I really kind of studied on YouTube University for a year about starting a business and what do I need to do. And by my birthday of 2021, we had the Big Beauty Lab. So my 404 collection was the first collection I dropped. That was my love letter to the city, and my way of really kind of highlighting Atlanta too, because also during the pandemic, I just kept hearing a lot about Atlanta is lame, it's full of scammers, it's this, and I'm like, where are y'all going? Where are y'all visiting?
It's just like the scammers are more like out there, you know,
Yeah.
kind of broadcast more.
Especially because you got to think about how many people are not from Atlanta that now heavily populate Atlanta. Like 2 million people moved here just during the pandemic. So I kept wanting to like relive the Atlanta childhood I had, like going to Cascade, going to Sparkles, to Golden Glide, going to the Varsity to eat that nasty ass food, but you get to go home with the little hat and shit, you know. And I really wanted to kind of bring that back, so I put in a lot of time curating the 404 collection, and that was the first collection of the Big Beauty Lab.
Oh, okay. What are some of your earlier trials and tribulations you had to face with your Big Beauty Lab?
Really believing in myself, being able to believe like I'm not gonna work for anyone else anymore.
That's powerful right there.
And being able to, you know, when you got $20 in your account, when you got, you know, $5,000 in your account, being able to still like have the mindset of you gonna do this shit. Especially because I knew it was so much bigger than me. It was so much bigger than just finding something to do. It was about certain prophecies and certain things that had been prayed and sold into me from young, and just certain things that people knew about me that I hadn't realized about myself. So just really believing in myself and being able to find other people and entities that believed in me as well, you know, because like I said, at that time, Atlanta was going through this phase of like, you know, they trying to make us sound like we Compton in the 90s or something. And it's like, I've been here my whole life. This is a very cultured city. This is a city where nonprofit work was driving our economy for the longest. And that's what I grew up doing alongside my mom. So I just, getting people to believe in me, getting me to believe in me, and even just being able to balance that first year of business, you know, those were some of like the darkest times where it was like, you ask yourself throughout the day, am I doing the right thing? Like, who the fuck is gonna buy this? Who's gonna do? And you know, it's easy to get into that point and just be like, fuck it. And then you mad in your room with $10,000 worth of inventory that you just gave up on. So it's very easy to give up on a business because, you know, some people look at it as just so optional, but you know, for me, the lab, that's my baby. That's my child. So, you know, you nurture it and you watch it grow and you fall in love with it. So,
I mean, anytime you put your time and energy, blood, sacrifice into something, it's gonna be a long day in hell for a motherfucker to take that from you.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
You like to fight me.
Yeah, for real, gonna be a long day in hell for somebody to come take that from you. That's what's up though. So, cosmetics is such a competitive field, right? Why do you feel people should come shop with you?
Because I give a different perspective into cosmetics. This is strong. You know, I didn't start off in makeup traditionally. I started off making monsters, you know, and I could do special effects to the day I die. Just because being a filmmaker, being a screenwriter, to be able to write out how a character or how a monster looks on paper, and then me, myself, the creator, being able to draw it, create it, put it on myself. I've had to utilize cosmetics in a lot of different ways, not just because I do full body prosthetics and things, but also because I'm a woman of color and a lot of products weren't made specifically to complement our skin tones and our undertones. So, you know, with the Big Beauty Lab, I partnered with a Black woman to be able to create a product, a shade, a formula that is specific to us. You know, it's not something that, I'm not gonna say it's not something everyone can wear, but it is this is for us moment. It's very much a thing of, everyone is represented in my brand. Everyone from the church girls to the old women to the young women to the babies. Like,
talk to the old women.
I'm for real. Everyone is represented in some way in my product line. You know, my skincare, my hair care, things like that. And you know, I want to make a brand where people don't have to worry about, is there anything for me? You know, so.
Okay, you sound very passionate about it too.
Absolutely, I'm passionate about everything I do.
So like growing up, were you always like good at writing?
Yeah. My grandmother, rest her soul, she was a civil rights activist. She was a writer herself. And so she always instilled reading and writing into us. We were big on like Kwanzaa growing up, so there were sometimes if mama ain't have it, we just didn't do Christmas, but we was gonna do Kwanzaa, and Kwanzaa is like, that's my favorite holiday to this day. So we would get books. We would get, I remember the year I turned 7, I got the autobiography of Malcolm X. I got a book called Zeely. That's one of the most beautiful stories I've ever read. And so my love of reading really helped me encapsulate my love of writing. So growing up, that was my escape, to be able to, you know, escape some of the things I was going through. I would just write, and I would write someone else's story because I didn't want to think about mine right then.
I think you should write your own story though. You're a very interesting person. I feel like you should definitely write your own story though. But see how you say you grew up, you know, reading and writing and books. People don't read nowadays like they used to.
They do audio books, but reading is different.
Yeah, reading. Yeah. People don't read books. Books, I don't want to say it's a lost art, but it's something that people just don't do too much of anymore. You see what I'm saying?
I remember Prince said, like, books and Black lives, albums matter, and I feel like it needs to be flipped. Like, books matter, and I feel like people don't realize that is the most valuable thing. Like, say a nuke hit today. Right. The 3 things that are most valued, I believe it's books for sure, gold, and for some reason, Persian rugs. Didn't know that until recently. But books hold that much importance because it's recorded history, it's recorded perspective. And when these phones and shit fail, as we know they will eventually, all we have is what's recorded, which is in the books.
That is true. You know the saying they always say, if you don't want black people to see it, put it in the book. Cause I know black nigga gonna read your damn book. Well, some will. I'm not saying all, but majority of the time, you know what I'm saying. That's not a common thing.
We literally have created everything. You know, everything we know culturally, our people have had to write. So for the one thing that was taken from us during, you know, this extended period of oppression, the one thing that was taken from us was recorded history and the history that we wrote. I just feel like books have to be of importance in order for us specifically to be able to thrive and flourish and create generational wealth. We have to be able to access knowledge that's not only accessible on our phones.
Right. That's so true. So what kind of advice can you give to other entrepreneurs that are trying to create a business in the same field as you, or just all entrepreneurs in general?
Have a plan. Be prepared for your plan to change.
Be able to improvise.
Right. Be prepared to adapt. Condition your mind for rejection. Condition your mind for failure sometimes. But be persistent and be consistent, and be intentional. You know, with me, like I said, it wasn't just about, I want to start a business to make money. It's way bigger than me. And I had to really like go through my life and sit with myself and find what is my why. Like, why are you doing this?
Okay, I like that.
So like I said, have a plan and have a purpose, because it can't just be you. You know, nobody is just that individually interesting. Not even the greatest celebrities of the world. There's always that greater driving force behind them. So be persistent, have a plan, have a purpose, have a prayer. That the one prayer I said to myself every day as I did my business is what got me through my business, because every day, the closer I got to the launch date, those things I would pray for or prayed about they would manifest. They would be right in my face. And so no matter what your belief is, have a prayer or an affirmation or a mantra that is going to carry you through that conditioned rejection and stuff, you know, because it's going to come times where you think, I got this. This is going to be the day somebody gives me a grant for $150,000. And that's the day they look you in your face and say, absolutely not. It's a terrible idea.
Damn.
And you have to choose whether you want to believe that or whether you want to find the person who does believe it. You know, not y'all know what I'm saying. He told me I could smoke in here, and now I'm fumbling and stuff. But nah, you know, you gotta be able to choose. Am I going to believe it, or am I going to make my own lane? Am I going to give myself my own funding? And that's what I did. You know, not getting the SBA loan and the PPP loan when I watch people get them and buy cars and then start businesses. That was something I really had to sit with, because I was like, is my idea that bad? But, you know, it was God's way of saying, you know, I got more for you than what the government can give you. I have way more for you in your career than what you can ask for on paper. So, yeah, I would just, like I said, have a purpose, have a plan, have a prayer.
Mm-hmm. But see, nowadays, though, like you said, people don't do it. People do it for the money now. It's not about the purpose and the passion. You see that a lot of music, especially music.
Oh yeah.
And just for anything, everything now is just about the money, just about getting on and just having a bunch of money. It's not about the passion, not about, like you said, the why. Why are you doing this? Is this something that you can do in your sleep? And your purpose, I always tell people, I always explain to people when it comes to your purpose is, it's always something that you did growing up that you didn't know was a talent. That was like a hidden talent in you that, you know what I'm saying, that you didn't know was a talent, but it is a talent that you can make a lot of money off of it. It's always best doing something that you love too, because that way, just in case that motivation or whatever comes back, I mean, just in case, you know what I'm saying, you get tired, that love will drive you to keep going. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, you might be good at this and good at doing that, but you don't love it though.
Yeah.
So eventually, you're gonna get burnt out. Because you're gonna want to keep doing it because you don't love it. You're like, yeah, I'm making a lot of money doing this, but nah, I don't want to keep doing this shit, man. Because I'm like, then you're gonna have to start, you know, having that conversation with yourself. Be like, hello, do I really want to do this? Do I not want to do this? But you would never have that conversation when you doing something that you love. You will always be protected in the end, and that's the most important thing. So I'm glad you definitely really touched on that, though.
Yeah, especially because like, people always laugh because I do so much filmmaker, makeup artist, so I own a business. I do a bunch, like PR, media, all of that. Shout out to Media Girls Network.
Shout them out.
But I had to because, you know, we weren't poor, but we had bills to pay. So a lot of things that people were able to go and acquire a service provider for, I had to become the service provider because that was the only way I was going to be able to do it. Even with makeup, it's like I couldn't afford to get my makeup done for prom, so that month leading up to the prom I didn't go to. I just studied how to do makeup, and I got good at it to where I was doing other girls' makeup for prom, and then the next year I'm doing makeup for people's weddings, and I'm like, okay, wait a minute, I like this. But even with PR, I couldn't afford a publicist, so I shadowed a publicist, then I became a publicist. So you know, everything for me came out of a mode of survival, and it's like the desire to survive but enjoy it as well is really what enabled me to be able to be in so many different industries at the same time.
Enjoy those moments, just having those small wins. So by you having all those in all those fields, make sure you enjoy your small wins as you continue to go. That's what I like to see. Okay, so yes, man, it's time to get into this game, man. Y'all ready to get in this game, man? It's time to get in this game. Okay, so here's how I go, right? Ask you 5 questions. Whichever ones you get right, I take a shot. Whichever ones you get wrong, you take a shot. Okay? And so, the questions consist of culturally questions, whether it's music, sports, entertainment, and, you know, I try to keep it culturally. And the point of it is also, it's a guessing game. I know you don't know the damn answer to these questions. Some of them you may know, but I know
trivia
people,
queen now.
I know people ain't just walking around like encyclopedias, just know every goddamn thing. You see what I'm saying? So I know you might know. No, I've been beat 4-1. about 4 or 5 times. About five times.
You might want to make your questions harder, friend.
For one. No, I've been doing this for, I've been, my record, I've been beat 5 times, but I've been whooping ass 16, 17
Okay,
times.
okay, I'm just saying.
So don't do that. Hey, how many episodes I got? Out of 30 episodes right now so far, I think this would be a couple episodes down the line. Out of 30 episodes, you talking about 5 before 1. What are they? That's like 25
I'm still alive. Was it a streak? You lost all 5 of them back to back?
No, it wasn't.
Oh, okay.
It happened periodically
Okay,
throughout
I was gonna say
the episode. No, ain't nobody just, I wasn't losing like one episode and this episode. Nah, it was periodic. Sometimes the person might beat me 4-1, then turn around and that next person, I may beat him 4-1.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just periodically. You know what I'm saying? So let's go. Look, how you know you gonna lose?
I don't know I'm gonna lose.
See, look, you already have it thought.
But I'm human, remember?
Okay, yeah,
Human.
you're human. How many championships has the Boston Celtics won? No, wait.
Mm-mm.
Hold on now, come on. I give you multiple choice. I should have said that.
Question.
I should have said that.
I know I wasn't gonna get that one.
You could have guessed that though.
That is it. Let me tell you something. There's one, and see,
you know
I actually love basketball, but if there is one team specifically I will never know a thing about, it is the Boston Celtics.
Hold on, y'all. I gotta laugh at this shit. I've never heard nobody. She immediately took the shot. She didn't even guess. She didn't even say, you know what, B. You just said.
He said cultural questions and then started
Sports.
with the Celtics. You didn't say no sports.
I did. No.
You didn't say that.
The Celtics is sports. Music, sports,
Let me
entertainment.
correct this next shot because I see where this is a set.
But I give you a choice though. You know what I'm saying? I give you a choice.
It's gonna be a
Okay.
smaller shot. There you go.
From DJ Khaled album, We the Best. What song came out first? Was it A, We Taking Over, B, I'm So Hood?
We taking over.
Final answer?
Yeah.
Okay, you got it right. See, look at you.
But you know how I think I was like,
But
Ace
look, though.
Hood was on I'm So Hood, and that was after we taking over.
But look,
So.
pour me up a shot. Go ahead. See, you see what I'm saying? You could have just easily
Oh, wait.
what?
I was on the one shot glass.
Yeah, no, yeah. Oh, see, what you're supposed to do is pour the shot in the cup. I got the cup for you. You just pour it in the cup, then you drink it like that.
And I got a whole cup of strawberry lemonade. Okay.
You pour it now. You pour it now.
So I'm chasing with a cup.
Okay,
Take
yeah.
it, take it.
I'll take
I'm
it.
just dry the boat.
You gonna drive the boat?
Yeah.
All right.
I didn't know.
Ooh, hate damn shots. They gonna lie to you.
And you chasing with water.
I take water after every shot because I hate it. I do. As anybody, I always do that. Now, if somebody told me that, I think one of my homeboy, he said, man, when you take a shot, bro, take water with it. Take the water down too.
I chase with a Capri Sun.
No.
Because it's like water.
Okay. What film grossed more money? A, Money Talks. B, Friday.
Friday.
Okay. You got
Wait.
that right.
Did I
You got that right.
Okay.
Damn, I should have said nah. I should have made your ass come back. I'm saying you were like, you asked me, hold up, wait. No, what was I saying? I should say, hold on. Nah, that ain't right. Should have came back on that one. See? Look how you doing, see? Matter of fact, you could be at 3-0 if you just would have guessed the first one. You see what I'm saying? You didn't even want to do that. Which I already knew. I'm going to get this one.
Yeah. I ain't gonna play
Hey, man, you can't doubt yourself, man. We on that Dilly on too, man. For sure.
Tequila by a black man.
Black man, he out here acting bad. As y'all know, only he can do.
Make sure you zoom in on my face when I say that, so that way Diddy knows I'm giving him product placement and I get a job. Tequila by a black man. That was the official one.
All right. What year did Tom and Jerry come out? A, 1950, B, 1951. Do, 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 do.
I'm gonna go B.
That's wrong. Let's go, man. Let's go.
Hold on.
All right.
And I'm driving over.
Let's go.
Because you ain't bringing me no cup.
I brought you. I just brought you 2 cups, man. Okay. Last song.
Ew.
Why say damn last song? See, man, I guess them shots are already kicking in. Last question. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
So right now, what we what? 3? What? 2-2?
I think we took 2. Yeah.
Cause the first one here. I think you just want to take a shot. You just want to take a shot.
I did. Let me tell you something. If I guessed, I guarantee you I get it wrong.
You just want to take a shot. You know what I'm saying? Let me take a shot.
Go back to the question.
Okay. Nah, too late now. It's too late.
I bet y'all still get it wrong.
You are nothing. I go back. Let's go back. How many championships has the Boston Celtics won? A, 16, B, 17.
A.
No, yeah, you got that wrong. Okay, never mind. You got that wrong.
You see, I be knowing.
So yeah, it would still been 3-2. So okay. From Kendrick Lamar, Good Kid, Mad City album.
Okay.
It's my favorite Kendrick album, by the way. What song charted higher? Was it A, Poetic Justice, B, Swimming Pools?
Swimming pools.
Okay. You know, usually, if I pull the shot, I'm gonna say that usually, when that question, people always pick the future, and the future always be right. So that's why I tried to put that question in to try to confuse you, because I was hoping you picked the future. But you got that right. She's talking
Swimming
Swimming
pools had
Pools.
the remixes. That's how I knew it charted longer.
Swimming Pool had the remix. Okay. What song you think was better though?
What song was better?
Yeah. Notice what you want.
Honestly,
I hear that song is so damn long. Speaking
I
of
would
that.
say swimming pools just because I like when Kendrick has like those cryptic messages.
Is Kendrick your top 5 all time?
Yes.
Not in my top 5 all time.
Top 10 for sure.
Yeah.
Top 5.
I just recently put him there when he dropped the album.
Top 5. Nobody that young.
Kendrick did that young.
He not that young, but that's young. Like
Oh.
we talking when he started his career, like that's young.
So you got him in top 10.
Yeah, he's definitely. Honestly, he's probably number 5.
Number 5.
He's probably number 5. So yeah, we'll say
You put
Kendrick's
him
my
on. You
top
put him
5.
high. You put him over. Let me name some names for you.
Yeah, name some names and I'll give a number.
You got Nas, Jay, Pop, Big, Rakim.
Okay, so here's how we gonna do
Wayne.
this. Number 1 for me, always Andre 3000.
Andre.
So we start there.
Okay.
Number
But see,
2,
I always, even with Andre, I don't argue with Andre being in the top 5 when it comes to lyrically and his songs and stuff. But what I argue people, you know what I'm saying, about him being in the top 5 is he didn't have a solo album.
I'm not arguing about Andre
He did really
3000.
compete. He didn't compete though. I mean, it's unfair to put
He
him in
didn't
and
have
compete.
It's almost
You know
for
what I'm
me.
saying?
It's like
That's what I'm saying. Wu-Tang, everybody, Method Man dropped the album, Ghostface dropped the
Method
album.
Man's
So
in my
you
top
saw,
10 as well.
so you saw like them compete. You saw, you know what I'm saying? Everything he dropped was with Outkast or features. So it was like,
But he didn't.
It
I
kinda
feel like he
hard,
didn't have to have a solo album because he had a career that was long enough and the trajectory that he gave himself. Like you said, lyrically, I've never heard no one else that could touch Andre. That's just my opinion.
yeah.
So for me, it's like if nobody can touch you lyrically and you haven't put out an album, like a solo album, that's all the more proof. Like you ain't put out an album, but you're clearly the best.
Okay.
But that's just me.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, for me, that's why I just count him from my top 5. But I got on my top 10 though.
Jay-Z is
He's out
number
there.
3 for me.
Jay-Z, who's number 2? Who's number 2? You skipped number 2. You laughing. So it might be a crazy name you don't want to say out loud.
No, it's not
say
crazy.
it out loud.
It's not crazy at all. KRS-One. I love KRS-One.
KRS-One. Oh, you got him over Rakim? Oh. Ooh. I mean, it's your top 5.
DMX is like number 6.
Okay.
Like 6, 7. DMX up there.
Not a bad pick. Not a bad pick.
But I like DMX just because he was so poetic. But he was angry with it.
Not a bad pick.
Who else? Who else in my top 10? Did I say Nas already? Nas is number 3. No, Jay-Z's number 3.
Mm-hmm.
Nas is like he's the number 4, right in there by Kendrick.
Okay, you got Kendrick number 5.
Yeah, Kendrick's like 5 or 6. We because I gotta put. Y'all gonna hate me.
Yeah, I don't like that 5 at all. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't.
I have to put her up there.
Mm-mm.
I have to put the Barbie up there. Nicki Minaj is like a good 6 or 7. She's
Really?
up there. She's up there. But it's
Do you know you put Nicki over a lot of people?
No. Okay, we'll just say Nicki's on the list for sure. Matter of fact, so no one's
So hold on.
I'll put Nicki at like number 8.
So hold on. So you already got her over Wayne all the time?
Matter of fact, see, we gotta redo this. Wayne can be Wayne. I'll say is number 2, honestly.
Okay.
Okay, so let's do this. It's Dre.
Okay.
Wayne.
Okay.
Jay-Z.
Okay.
KRS-One.
Okay.
4, honestly, I'll say like.
Nah, you got the 5th now. You said
I'm at
Andre.
5.
You said Andre, Wayne. Andre, Wayne, Jay. Who 4? Nas. And you said Kendrick 5th, right?
Kendrick is 5.
Okay.
So 6.
Now that's not bad. That's not bad.
Like that's a good top 5.
That's a great top 5. Because people slip on KRS-One. KRS-One was that dude.
Boy.
He was that dude.
So number 6.
But see, you got to be a hip hop fan. See, most people my age don't even know about KRS-One.
Number 6, I would probably put like. I'm trying to think who I said so I don't incriminate myself because I'm a little buzzed.
She in the industry, y'all. So
that too.
They gonna be mad with you with your picks.
I would say honestly, number 6, I would put Eminem.
Okay, perfect. Great.
I could put Eminem up there.
Yo, this ain't bad though. I like it. I'm enjoying it.
7.
I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying your list.
Who's number 7?
Definitely enjoy your list.
I'm trying to think of number 7. You know who number 7 for me would be, honestly, Missy Elliott. Then at number 8, Nicki Minaj. This list is going phenomenally. Okay. So we had number 8, Nicki Minaj.
Okay.
Number 9.
Still put over a lot of people, but I'll take that. You're a female, so I expect that.
I'm trying to be careful with number 9. Because I have a lot of favorites. Like, I'm not a person that has just one. But, you know, if I had to make a list. Number 9.
Look, we already get on there. We want supposed to get on the top 5 greatest. Man, but you know what?
Yeah, I'm stuck at
You got a top 8, so that's pretty good. You know what I'm saying?
Them other 2 spaces will be. You know what? Honestly, I'll say this. Future is up there.
No, hell no.
Not top 10. Future is a favorite, but he's not top 10.
He's a favorite of mine too, but he's not no greatest lyricist. No. Hell no.
Like Ludacris, I think has some of the greatest bars.
Yes.
But I don't know if I put him in my top.
J. Cole, man.
I'm trying to think.
He up there.
J. Cole up there.
He up there for sure. For sure. So let's get back, man. I know this one even on the goddamn list. You know what I'm saying? But that's how it be when you talking.
See, I can't do no top 10.
Okay. I mean, you did.
Top 8.
Yeah, top 8. Okay. Now, you also mentioned that you're being a creative curator.
Mm-hmm.
For the people who do not know what a creative curator is, would you please like to kindly explain?
Yes. So, a creative curator is a person who basically for one project, one organization, etc., They curate everything that would be under media, that would be under basic. Okay, so it's such a hard position to break down. So basically, with me, I'm a creative curator because someone can come to me with an idea. Mm-hmm. I develop everything from what does the product photo shoot look like, what are they wearing, what is the vision, what is the commercial going to look like, what are the colors, if they have events, I curate the events, so everything from the decor. So a creative curator is basically like a creative director and a publicist put together. Mm-hmm. So you basically gather different services, different creative avenues for your client, and you develop either events, media productions, things like that. Okay. So yeah, so I think a great example is like my small business expo. Mm-hmm. I curated my list of vendors, which means I go through a huge surplus of vendors and then I carefully select each ones and how do they complement each other. Mm-hmm. The decor, the theme of the decor. Okay, so I'm gonna work with this specific place for balloons, this specific place for decor, and so everything for an event, each umbrella, I pretty much create the theme, how it's gonna look on paper, and then all of that. So it's literally a creative director and a publicist fused together.
Yeah, okay.
That's what
your Big Mo Small Business Expo event that you just talking about. Mm-hmm. How did that get started though? Like, how did you get started doing that?
So like I said, I didn't really get a lot of like funding and support when I first started my business. So I had to basically rely on people just putting the word out there and exposing my business to other people. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to do a expo in which different brands would not only get the exposure from, it being a pop-up, but them being able to create content for their brands. If they needed headshots, if they needed people to make TikToks and Reels, all of that was accessible in that space, along with different entrepreneurs who have had really successful careers, being able to have like live panels and beauty demos for them to be able to not only share their journey, but also, drop some gems on the other businesses and business owners that were there.
Okay. You gonna have any more coming up?
Yes, in March we got Big Mo's Beauty Expo. So, we taking it back like Bronner Brothers style, like very, very large platform artists, the whole nine. But I'm really excited about it. I'm excited about doing it here in Atlanta. So, yeah, we got a couple of them coming up. Okay, Big Mo's art exhibit. We got a lot.
Okay, I'm excited for it too. Shoot.
Yeah, y'all gotta pull up.
So, what are some of the challenges you face being a creative curator?
People not really understanding like what it is I do, because creative curator literally does everything. Mm-hmm. And also just being in this industry, having people value your talent and your gift enough to pay you for it. Some people don't see value in things that take a lot of work and a lot of time and a lot of organization and jobs that normally take 5 and 6 people being done by one person. Mm-hmm. And so, being able to build my clientele to where it is now, where, I'm curating an art exhibit for this person, I'm curating a hair show for this person, and, these major entities really trusted my vision and trusted what I'm able to do. So, some of the challenges really are people just understanding your vision and being vulnerable enough to let people into my little weird head.
My little weird head. And you also mentioned that you're a screenwriter too as well. What made you want to become a screenwriter?
I've always wanted to be a screenwriter. Me and my sisters, we bonded over movies. So to this day, we get in a room and we just randomly start quoting movies with each other. So I've always loved movies and I've always loved storytelling. So when I was in high school and I was battling self-harm, I used to write. And like I said, I would just write about other people's lives, and I would come up with different characters in different cities and things like that. And the older I got, the more kind of organized and really detailed I got with the story. And I just fell in love with it. So I decided I'm gonna make movies. And I've been, officially like a screenwriter and a filmmaker going on like 4 years now. Mm-hmm. And, I'm still seeking that one major opportunity, but the opportunities I've gotten thus far, I'm grateful because it's like, it was the confirmation that like, yeah, this is the purpose. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. Mm-hmm. So yeah, if I had to pick one, like, they say you got to settle on one, like filmmaking for sure. Like being a filmmaker that's the goal. That's the ultimate goal.
Mm-hmm. So back, like you said, you talked about, back you was in high school when you were dealing with that self-hate. How did you, when you harm yourself.
Yes.
How did you get yourself out of that? Like, how did you, because at that time, I'm pretty sure when you was coming up, mental health and all that stuff wasn't taken serious at all.
At all, no.
So, like, how was you able to gather your strength and able to, rise above it and become the strong woman you are today?
I had to really, really like sit in it, honestly. And I had to get to the root of what was causing it. And, I had to drop certain people, certain practices, certain beliefs. But ultimately what really brought me out was me knowing like I'm that girl. Like, and that's not to be egotistical.
No. Like, talk your shit.
It's like, if I know I'm gonna grow up to be the greatest,
don't let anybody confidence to
right? Yeah, like I don't have to knock nobody, but it's like I'm her. Like, and knowing that, girl, you're gonna be one of the greatest filmmakers of all time. You're gonna have one of the greatest influences of all time. Not out of egotistical, but because I want to have that reach. I want to be able to change people's lives like that. And it was really like knowing that greatness was coming anyway. It was like, Fred, we can't stay here too long. You can stay here and figure this shit out, but you can't stay here too long. And really just developing my confidence is what got me out of that. And I feel like especially as Black women, we have to be able to know that I'm that girl, like I'm her, without it meaning I'm a bitch or I'm rude or I'm taking advantage of people. Like, we have to be able to let certain behaviors and certain beliefs exist in the same universe. Like, you can be that girl and still give back and still be a good person and still, be the person people can lean on and still lean on people. It doesn't have to be one or the other. And so being able to maintain, my love for community work, my love for doing for other people, while also loving myself and putting myself up on this pedestal, that really, really like just helped me understand that ain't nothing ever gonna be that bad.
Right.
Yeah.
That's true. That is true. So, I talk about, being, I know we all over the place.
I'm sorry, y'all.
Nah, it's cool. It's cool. I love it. I'm pretty sure they love it too. So, I know you talk about you being a screenwriter. What are some of the challenges you face doing that?
Completing a story, it's easy to procrastinate because it does take forever for a script to be really complete. The revisions, the character developments, like I finished the script and then after I finished it, decide I want to add a whole character in. So that means from the beginning to the end, I have to add this person and this element into the story again. So being able to complete a story and not procrastinate on them. But also, the pitches are hell. Like, to put your work on display and tell someone, like, my work is up here and you all should buy it. It is humbling. Because you're going to get a lot of raised eyebrows, a lot of questions, a lot of no's. But, a lot of what I've learned just in this past year of, like, pitching my scripts to people is, you're like, I'm on the right track, you're there, and I have to be open to hearing like, here's why certain things may need to be changed. And it's like being open to hearing that you can do better without taking it as correction or something rude is
that's a big problem.
It's a lot. It is. It's hard to hear like you can do better.
Yeah.
It's hard to hear that, especially when you bleed and cry for something and you're like, okay, I'm finished, I did it, and you submit it, and it's like, it's cute. And it's like, I know I can do better. I can do better. And that's humbling. So, yeah.
And that's one of the problems in our generation now is that people can't take criticism. And I always tell people, man, you got to be able to understand the difference between hate and criticism. Them are not the same thing. So I'm glad that you're open-minded. Like you said, it does hurt. But even though it hurt, you gotta understand that, okay, this is in my best interest. I need to get this shit right. You know what I'm saying? But everybody's so egotistic to where they want to feel like they that guy or they that woman. Like, hey, bro, all these greats that y'all looked at, all had to go through the same thing.
Right.
Then Nicki Minaj say she had to change her verse 6-7 times on Monster.
And that's still one of her hardest.
It is.
Verses.
But Kanye had to make her change her verse how many times? And she said she was getting attitude, she was getting tired of it. But guess what? Like you said, it became one of her most critical acclaimed feature verses of all time. And you can argue one of the greatest feature verses of all time. You can argue that because it's still a classic verse whenever you hear it. So, but it took her 6 times to be able to do that. That's what I'm saying. You got to be able to be critical. I mean, be able to understand the difference between being critiqued and criticism, and understand hate, because it's not the same, bro. Stop thinking just because a nigga don't say too much positive about what you're saying, because sometimes it just may not be together. It may be potential in there. Like, okay, you got good potential, but you tweet this, you tweet that. You know what I'm saying? You tweet that. Okay, we got something.
It's also perspective. Like, you have to be willing to let multiple people be exposed to it, because it's people who think Jay-Z is an awful rapper and he's rated as one of the best, and it's like it's all about perspective. And some of the people
I don't like him like that either. But go ahead. Go ahead.
What you mean?
No. I'm talking about as a rapper, as an artist. Now, I don't know him as a human being. I'm talking about as an artist. I don't think I think he's very overrated. This is my opinion. But go ahead.
We gonna get off that. We gonna get off that. But there are people who are in high positions of power who just, they don't like something, but that doesn't mean they're right, and it doesn't mean that you have to assimilate to that. It means you have to be willing to let your art and your stuff be exposed to multiple people with multiple different perspectives.
Because like you said, just because it don't resonate with me, it doesn't mean that it might not resonate with other people. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
But also, everything is generational. You see what I'm saying? Generation. Who did you grow up listening to? Who did you grow up watching? Everything is generational. You're gonna always think your generation was the best. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I kind of said what you said. But yeah, man, that's just a point. That's an important, Jim. I'm glad you did touch on that, man. So what kind of advice can you give to other inspiring people who are trying to become a good screenwriter like yourself, though? Upcoming,
honestly, write it. Just write it how it's in your head. Write it so that you can see it, and whatever you need to change it. But to me, honestly, screenwriting and being a writer in general is liberating, because the weird stuff that go on in my head I can put on paper. So it's like, be as free and expressive as you want to, but have the intention behind it. Do it for a reason. Don't make it raunchy just because you're a fucking demon. Put some meaning into your art. But yeah, just stick with your story. Write it how you see it. Don't ever compromise your art or your creativity for any one perspective.
Right. I like that. I mess with that. So what's your relationship status, man? What's going on with your big Mo? You single? You seeing somebody? What's going on?
I am off the market.
Off the market.
But
okay,
it ain't no ring on my finger. But I'm off the market.
So I got through a shot. I'm off the market, but ain't no ring on this motherfucker.
No, it's like I'm dating, but I'm also healing. So it's like, I'm navigating through my shit. I'm not looking for anything, but I'm socializing.
So you
ain't
dating?
Nobody getting no coochie, so it's like shit. I'm chilling.
So
going to dinners and shit. Going out to dinners and brunches and stuff. So I'm chilling. But I'm gonna be honest, my relationship status, I am so deeply in love with my damn self. Like, I'm gonna be honest, like, this last year of just solitude, I'm good with her. Like, she's amazing. And eventually I know love is gonna come. I know what I want out of life. But currently it's like, I'm socializing, but I'm all about her. Right. I'm obsessed with this woman.
Okay. I'm obsessed with this woman.
I am.
So you must. Cool. So let me say, you must have been in a long relationship, like
yes.
recently. Oh, you were?
Yes.
Like how long? Like 5 years, couple years.
Like 7 years.
Ooh, I was close. Though. I said 5. Damn, 7 years. So being in that, being in a long relationship, 7 years, what did you learn about yourself being in that relationship? Like, leaving that relationship, what did you take from that? Because it's always, I know it's the heartbreaking part, but what did you take from
fuck
it?
all that. Speak your mind, stand up for yourself, set your boundaries, like, and do it with the people you love. Like, if they love you, they respect all of that. They respect your mind, they respect your boundaries, they respect what makes you uncomfortable, they respect what upsets you. And also being an effective communicator. Like, you know, you can't always, like me, I know I'm talkative. It's like, no, shut the fuck up sometimes and listen. So, you know, the power of having good interpersonal communication skills. But also, like, you know, love is a doozy. You know, love is it's bullshit. That shit sucks sometimes.
It does.
But it's like the good thing about love is like real love, like unconditional love. You can exist over there and do your thing, but you know it's love. Like, you know, if that dark cloud comes and it really gets that bad, you know I'm here, nigga. Like, shit, it is what it is. So, you know, I think just everything I've learned from being a grown up in a relationship now, I can take that into, you know, my next chapter and my next relationships and shit. So yeah.
Okay, that's what's up then. So, what's your top 5 favorite artists then? Top 5 favorite. You know, we talked about the greatest. Now, what's your favorite?
My rappers. Or, so when you say artists, you mean like creatives in general, like singers, rappers, actors,
musicians. It could be singers or rappers, whichever. Who are your top 5 favorite people you listen to on a daily basis?
Andre 3000.
Okay.
Beyonce.
Okay.
Lauryn Hill.
Okay. Lauryn Hill's great.
She's a phenomenal
The
lyricist and vocalist.
Absolutely.
Amazing. I've recently been into Kendrick's latest project, honestly. Like,
I love Kendrick's project.
Last 2 months, maybe, like deep into those.
Last 2 months? Dang, been out for a minute. You just not getting on like that?
Nah, I listened to it when it came out, but it's like I've been like, if it's something I've had on a loop like recently every day, definitely.
Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. Kendrick delivered. He always delivers, but he delivered on that one. Sure.
And I've also been really into like classical shit right now. Cause you know, like I said, we grew up different. Right. So I've been into like Brahms and Jesus, not Beethoven, not Beethoven. What is his name? It's gonna piss me off. I'm tapping the song. That's why I'm like, I know the name of this.
Yeah,
it'll come to me. But it's a black classical artist, and he composed this beautiful orchestra that I listen to on a regular.
Oh, okay.
So yeah.
So what do you see yourself in the next 5 years? Bigger mo. But nah, I see myself like finally fulfilling a lot of things I've manifested over the last couple of years, as well as, you know, settling in some real happiness, settling in some, you know, some real content with life, because I feel like I'm gonna accomplish a lot of things between now and then. So just, you know, settling into success. I like that. Settling into success.
Yes, for sure.
So,
for sure.
What can we expect within the next couple of months?
Well, like I said, Big Mo's Beauty Expo is definitely coming. And I wanted to do it during Women's History Month, just because my love of beauty and my love of vanity, really, it comes from the women in my life. They some hitters, you know. My mama is a bishop and a motivational speaker and a survivor. My grandma's a civil rights activist, and my sister is like one of the most intelligent scholars I've ever met in my life.
Right.
So I wanted the Beauty Expo to be able to highlight those type of women that I've had. But yeah, my Beauty Expo, Big Mo's Film Festival, where I'm gonna, you know, allow for different filmmakers and creators in the city to be able to submit their work and, you know, screen it and really appreciate it. I'm curating an art exhibit. I am working on a massive relaunch for the Big Beauty Lab. I'm opening my own film studio. So
okay.
Yeah, so
great things, great
the Big
things.
Idea Film House.
Okay,
yes,
big idea.
So yeah, I'm working these next couple months. I'm moving.
I like to hear that. And where can we find you on social media?
You can find me on Instagram at sheisbig.mo or at thebig.beautylab. You can also find me on TikTok at sheisbig_mo. You can find me on Facebook at Mo Christian, but don't come to my Facebook unless I actually know you, because I will block you. But yeah, we got a YouTube coming soon. So the YouTube's gonna be interesting, different short films and cooking tutorials and makeup tutorials and things like that. So yeah, I'm excited to keep growing.
Okay, I like that. And you can find me at _podcast_. _podcast_. And man, I just want to say, I definitely appreciate you giving me your time, man, coming out here, man. I know that you're a busy woman, you booked and busy, man. And I always got to show my appreciation to my guests for coming up here, showing love to this podcast. And I know you got, like I said, other things to do. And I created this podcast for upcoming talent, man, because, you know, we all we got, you know what I'm saying? A lot of times, you know what I'm saying, we tend to support people that we do not know, you know what I'm saying? More so than support people that we do know that's trying to do something, you know what I'm saying? So I created this platform and just focus on upcoming talent, man, because a lot of us got talent, you know what I'm saying, and platforms, and everybody can't go to the Breakfast Club. You know what I'm saying? Everybody can't go to these big media platforms just yet. You see what I'm saying? And you only get there, like we were talking about earlier, when you get to a certain stage. Like you said, the only difference between you and those other people is the status just ain't there yet. You got a consumer.
But I appreciate you having me, because like I said, even with my expo, it was about, you know, highlighting other people who, you know, needed it. So
and who dope too. It was probably dope as well. You're a very dope person. And I just can't wait, you know what I'm saying, to follow your journey and see your journey and continue to grow and you continue to get bigger and bigger. I can't wait to see you, you know what I'm saying, be on those platforms, or your platform get as big, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Where
everything big.
Everything big, man. So I just make sure I want to just show my gratitude and my appreciation for you coming out here and giving me some of your time, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm a very humble person. I'm very appreciative. I know other people, you know what I'm saying, they don't care about your time, you know what I'm saying? Or they abuse your time, you know what I'm saying? Black people, but if they abuse your time, they don't understand, like, hey, do you understand I got other things to do throughout the day? You know, I do have a life here, you know what I'm saying? So I just want to let you know that you are very appreciated here, and this platform will forever be here for you whenever you want to say anything, promote something, get something off your chest. I'll forever be here for you. Just want you to know that, straight on like that. But man, that wraps it up, man, for another episode of Put You On Game.